Honey, have you seen those? Okay, like the first shot of him is him waking up in bed with no like glasses on, and like the light shines in from the sun, and he like looks at the sun, and you do a close up of his eyelashes and like all the sparkles. Like, girl, model.
No, wait. You half expected him to be holding a bottle of like perfume or something.
Yeah, and it'd be like Coco Chanel.
Coco Chanel. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Up, beautiful.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me tonight, I have our Wizard of Wait What, Shinoda.
Drink water, stay hydrated.
And our Chivalry of Shota's Shotaro.
Well, I drink so much white, so they call me Dairy Queen.
Wow.
What?
All right. Yeah, just leave it. Leave it. Don't engage him.
Engage me.
No. So, a couple of slight announcements / news items to get to before we actually talk about what we're going to be talking about tonight. Shinoda.
Yo.
Dragon Maid is getting a second season, and it's official now.
I screamed like a bitch in happiness.
So, I mean, was it about a week ago now, I think, as we're recording this, where it was quote-unquote released that it was getting a second season, but then it was immediately taken down. So, I think what happened was someone jumped the gun a little too early, and then they took it down, and then everyone is like, well, fuck. We gotta just release it now. So they just made an official announcement. But yes, Dragon Maid is officially getting a second season. We don't know exactly when yet. I'm gonna assume it's probably gonna be 2020 at this point.
Yeah, I was talking to my friends about this, and they're like, can't wait for it. And I'm like, I'm sorry to crush you like this, but it's not gonna happen until 2020 or 2021, more than likely.
Yeah, which is it's understandable.
Like,
I
if it comes in 20... oh, wait, no. This is 2019. Shit, never mind. Never mind.
We are... What year is it, Shinoda?
Sorry, no, I was gonna say it might come in 2020, but then I was like, wait, hold on.
Anyway, I think this wasn't supposed to get announced until much, much later. That's my personal feeling on it, but their hand was kind of forced because they did this prematurely. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be until at least 2020, but it's certainly something to look forward to. More moe goodness, right?
No matter what, the fact that we have a confirmation that it is happening is good.
And it'll probably be the same year that we get Konosuba Season 3, and Konosuba probably still won't get Anime of the Year. Or even
It'll still be one hell
of
a year, I'll tell you that.
I mean, I'm still waiting for Season 3 Konosuba. We all are.
We got a movie coming up. Let's just look forward to that.
Yeah, that's true. Please let it be in American theaters, please.
Quick news thing that I just remembered. I forgot who, but there was a producer, I want to say, that had a AMA on Reddit, Ask Me Anything, and he's one of the people that's involved in Konosuba, and he said if the movie does well, their chances of Season 3, coming into existence is much higher. So, if you love Konosuba, please, for dear God, go see the movie in theaters. And then go see it 2 more times, just in case.
Yes, do it. Do it now. All right. So there is one other piece of news, which is kind of goes off of something we talked about on the previous episode of the podcast. So, Sho, do you want to take this?
Do I? Or does Shinoda?
Well, you put it down.
I'll take it. Okay. So, at this point, more than likely, all of you know what happened with Wick. But we
If
just
not,
want
go
to,
watch our previous episode.
yeah, or do that. um, Funimation officially came out and said that they're cutting ties with him, and that he's getting whatever character was in
Morose Mononokean or whatever it's called.
Yeah, season 2 is getting recast instead of him, and all other projects I'm assuming he's completely out of. So
Which is
yeah,
very interesting
interesting
because
development.
he's currently doing a voice in JoJo's. This is interesting. I don't know if they're going to completely recast him, but
Probably
whatever.
whatever is being done, they'll probably finish it up, but then after nothing more. At least that's what I think is going to happen, but who knows.
Well, I told you this before we started this recording that I think it's very unlikely that we'll ever see Vic Mignon in any kind of out front role in the anime industry ever again.
Probably.
Whether it's for legitimate reasons or not, that is for the future to decide. But for right now, it seems that everyone got their wish. Vic Mignogna is pretty much no longer a part of the anime industry. So if you were one of the ones that were going with the hashtag kick Vic, well, congratulations. He's been kicked. I know some of you will probably keep kicking him while he's down, but whatever. I'm so sick of this story. I really am.
Alright, moving past all the news, let's get to the main topic.
Yes, let's. So tonight we're going to be talking about, I guess you could say it's a sort of overlooked aspect of anime and manga sometimes, and that's costume and character design. So I guess I can start this discussion off with a question of what all of you think are some of the essential elements to character design, and what are some of those elements that you actually look for. Either one of you can take this.
Such a
Joe?
broad question. Well, one of the most important parts, even though this is like jumping ahead of what we're talking about, to me is the costume element, or what in particular they have chosen to wear. You have to be color coordinated, or else, GTFO. No, but like, fashion is serious business, people. It's not a homonym for fascism. For
I can just imagine you right now going like this.
Yeah, I am snapping in the Z formation, and each line of the Z is color coordinated. But I do enjoy myself a very nice costume, and I just have I don't know, the way you ask the question makes it seem like there's this like body of what a good character should be. Like, I just have quirks that I like to see in characters. I don't really have like, oh, this is good character design, this is not. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Chinoda, do you have anything in particular that you look for with character design?
What I look for in character design, and I don't particularly keep my eye out for it, it's more something I appreciate in the background, is if the character just looks good, or if they look tacked on, I suppose.
Tacked on.
In terms of, like, their design, if they look like... If they, let's say... Oh, this is such a hard thing to explain. If
Don't you
just
love
look
it
out
when-
of place...
Don't you love it when you look at a room of high school students and you can pinpoint the main character?
Yeah, the
Sort
only
of
one
like
with
that,
spiky,
yeah.
really weird colored hair.
Don't you love it that as soon as you're introduced to a character, you can tell whether they're a major, minor, protagonist, or villain? I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It is indeed like that, I suppose.
Honey.
Although,
I love that.
that being said, it does help identify characters. Not that you really need that help once they start showing up.
That's true. I love that meme that goes around where I think it's a scene from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's always spot the main character, and everyone's got like these really bland looking haircuts with, regular, like, natural hair colors, and then there's just Yugi in the middle. It's like, spot the main character. I wonder who it could be.
Honestly, Yu-Gi-Oh has to be the show with the stupidest hairstyle. Like, that is just so stupid.
I think they were
Listen,
kind of
I
going for
preferred
that, though.
the fact that they changed it up for so many people rather than kept it boring. I will praise them for that.
But they don't look good. I thought you liked things that looked good.
Hey, your definition of good and my definition of good is very different.
Oh,
Clearly.
okay.
Clearly.
But
Yeah.
it's specifically just if it's aesthetically pleasing to me specifically, I suppose, if that answers the question.
Yeah,
It's the
well,
aesthetics of it that matter to me.
the concept you said about characters kind of jumping out and, like, you can immediately recognize them, I think that's actually a good part of character design, and I can point to something in particular at this. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has what I think a lot of people refer to as silhouette characters, where you don't have to see any of the details of the characters at all, just their outline, and you can tell who it is.
Like
Like-
Pikachu.
Well, okay, yeah, I won't deny that. But I think when you have a character design like that stands out and is unique, I think that's actually that's an example of really good character design.
I see.
So
you like the curves.
Yes, curves are good. Thick curves are best. So you mentioned costume design, the show.
Yes.
So you think it's actually an essential part of character design?
No, I actually think that, well, I don't think costume design is character design. I think they're related. I think that, character design is like the art style, the proportions, the physical proportions of their physical features, how they're drawn. And then the costume design is what they wear. And I think that they are different things because you judge them by different criteria, and a show can have one or the other, and they're not really dependent on each other. So,
And I think it's worth mentioning it can also have one and not the other.
yes, I agree.
Or it can have good character design but really terrible looking outfits that the characters wear.
Yes, like Attack on Titan. Where they have their faces are really well drawn, but they all wear the same thing. I don't like uniforms. Spoiler, but I don't like uniforms because they're boring. I see them everywhere because they're uniform.
That's kind of the idea of a uniform, though, show. It's supposed to be uniform.
But it's actually quite interesting how do you find it? I find it so funny when shows try to differentiate different characters that all wear the same uniform by like making a quirky, different, tiny, small adjustment. And like, this person wears a blazer over the uniform. Oh, this person has 2 buttons unbuttoned. Oh, that's so quirky. That's so different than anyone else. I'm like,
But it does
kind
add a
of-
character flair to it. It matters.
It does. It does actually differentiate them, but like when you step back and look at what they did to differentiate them, it's like, really?
Well,
It might be minuscule. Sure.
I do agree that it does what it sets out to do. It does differentiate the characters, but at the end of the day, when you look at it, especially when you look at characters like that side by side, it just seems really lazy.
I think it's just so funny. It's like, we are restrained. They're all using they're all going to have to wear this uniform. How are we going to differentiate them? It's like, oh, everybody think, we have to do something. It's like his his shoulder is like slightly less than the other shoulder and it's all disheveled. It's like, yes, we'll go with that. Now we will know this person from everyone else. I'm like, okay. I could just
It's like
I could hear the designers screaming at each other when looking at those designs.
So would you characterize something like an anime that takes place in a school setting, which has a uniform, right? And like the standard like the sailor uniforms that the girls typically wear in high schools, where everyone's basically wearing the same uniform, but one person will have leggings, another person will just won't wear socks at all, and
One will have a ribbon in her hair.
one will have a ribbon in her hair.
One will have an armband.
Yes.
Oh god.
Is that like the
literally.
same thing
Yes,
too?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Because K-On! Does that.
Sad.
Like, they all wear the same thing, but yet slightly different.
Well, I guess there's nothing much they're working with very little. There's nothing much they can do, but it's still sad.
I just wonder, like, I don't know I'm sure that some schools are different in Japan, but like I'm sure that there's an overarching like uniform code throughout all Japanese high schools. I do genuinely wonder, since there are so many anime that take place in a high school or have high school aged characters in them, I genuinely wonder how much modifications people are actually allowed to do in real life to their school uniforms.
I don't think they are allowed to do those modifications that we see in anime, but I'm not sure. I'm no expert.
I'm not sure either. If you're out there listening to this and you know, please let us know. It is something I've always genuinely been curious about. I only heard one person talk about that one time, and the only thing they ever mentioned was socks, where they didn't really, the school that she went to, they didn't they didn't care what kind of socks you wore, whether they were like ankle socks or knee socks or thigh highs. They didn't care as long as you were wearing socks and they were black.
Oh, that's kind of. What about like fishnets?
I'm pretty sure that would be a no-go. For several reasons. This is a place of learning and higher education.
Higher education, my ass.
I do like there are little things like that stick out though. That's like, I don't know why you do this, but you all do this. So I think a good question to ask then next would be like, have any of you guys ever been watching an anime or reading a manga and you look at two different characters and they have the exact same face and you can't tell them apart? That bothers the fuck out of me.
That's what multicolored hair is for. God.
I know that, but like the whole phenomenon of same face, it bothers the fuck out of me because I personally think it's so indicative of a lack of creativity with character designers. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. And I know, like, if you watch these moe shows, like I'm trying to think of one that came out recently. Fuck, and I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, I think I know what you're trying to say. Kyo Annie, you can slap on their faces, their hairstyles, on a majority of their characters. And
Not all, but most.
not all, obviously, but a good amount of them, and you will be like, "Holy shit! Did they really just copy paste?" I'm not kidding. Go look it up. Go compare characters, and you will start to see the similarities quite distinctly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does. It's like, and this happens in really good anime too.
It's the Saber effect.
Yeah, it is. Well,
And
every Fate
I'm
character
pretty
is
sure
Saber.
that's the fucking name of it too.
Is it? Is there actually? I always just call it the same face.
I mean, same face. That is what it is, but you know, Saber effect, because you pretty much have a carbon copy of Saber in so many goddamn different shows.
Well, you even have carbon copies of Saber within Fate. Like every character in Fate is Saber, right?
I think
Yeah,
that's what he
yeah.
meant.
I meant in different shows, but I mean in Fate
Well,
also.
people made the comparison while Violet Evergarden was airing that Violet Evergarden bore a striking resemblance in the face.
She
to
really
Saber.
did, though. Is the thing.
Yes, maybe, but there were way more fucking lines in her face than there ever were in Saber's face.
Oh no, without a doubt. But
Is she that
that's
wrinkled?
speaking to
Not those kind of lines, you bitch. There's more detail in her face than there ever has been in any Fate character.
But that's a question of art style and directing
True.
versus,
True.
well,
But it's a good point. Like these then you have like what are they called fuck Rey from Evangelion. There's a bunch of characters that have a very similar personality to her character in Evangelion that also tend to look like her too. A really good example of that is Yuki Nagato from Haruhi Suzumiya. Like, they look really similar in the face.
I will
One
say
has
this.
glasses.
I mean, it is a
Well,
character
yes.
design that's been getting boners for over 20 years. Over 20 goddamn years. That is a winning formula. I can't exactly blame them for copying it. Lazy? Yes.
I,
Does it sell? Yes.
I guess that's the market figuring out what works, isn't it?
It pretty much is.
Find something that works and just beat it to death. I don't know. Same face just bothers the hell out of me. I really, it makes it very difficult to enjoy something when I see that too. It's like, 'cause then it becomes all I think about. It's like, you all look the same.
Unless it's so prominent that it's in my face, it doesn't affect me as much. Like,
guess.
most of the time, when I actually start noticing the same face, funny enough, is the background characters.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, and the thing, oh my god, this has more to do with animation art style, but it's something that bothers me too. When you go to a shot of characters and then there's a bunch of characters in the background and no one has a face, it's just a fucking outline with hair.
I mean, I'm fine with that, honestly. Like, you don't have time or money to animate all those fucking faces. Like, let's say it's a crowd. Like, no, there's no point in animating all that. It's kind of pointless to me. So I can understand why they do it.
Well, they do it to save money for sure.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just-
Now, if you
I notice
can
it and it's like,
give,
no.
if you can give all those characters some face, like, that makes it pretty fucking cool. Like, it shows you had the budget and the time and the talent. But most of the time, those three things are just not possible. So it's acceptable for them to be just squiggly lines, blank faces, even just straight up black shadows, like how Rooster Teeth does with their characters.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Just it bothers me. But speaking of stuff that bothers me, so another question I have is when you're reading a manga or watching an anime, and so many characters are badly designed, has that ever ruined your enjoyment of it?
Of course. If you don't look good, then why am I watching?
Do you have any examples?
Yes, I do. I have a very specific example, Haikyuu, and specifically the manga. After I watched the Haikyuu anime, and I really really like it a lot. And I thought that the character designs in that were actually pretty good. So I thought, well, I'll go read the manga just because I know that it's much further along than the anime is. I just wanted to see the differences. I didn't necessarily plan on reading the whole thing. I just wanted to get a feel for it. So I went and I found the first volume and I opened it up and I turned and I saw very hideous creatures staring at me. And I was like, this is not what I signed up for. I couldn't read the manga because the character designs and the art style was so bad, and I can't decide what it was. Was it the character designs that were bad, or was it the art style they were using to draw the characters that it was really bad? I can't figure that out.
Jeez.
Don't think
But-
about it too much.
The Haikyuu, like, you've read the Haikyuu manga, haven't you?
No.
Show? You haven't?
Honey,
Oh.
those character
That's
designs.
a surprise to me.
They're a Fudanshi repellent.
I tell you what, there's some hideous creatures in the manga.
Is it a
Thought
horror
I was-
manga?
That's kind of what I thought when I read it. Did I pick up the wrong volume?
Was it really that bad?
I really think that the anime is much better in terms of its character designs.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I'd say stick with the anime because I literally couldn't read the manga because the art style and the character designs were so hideous.
How about
Yeah,
you, Sho?
that's my very specific example.
Well, there's a lot of like slice of life, um, well, like reverse harem kind of shows. That like I mean the whole appeal of that show is to watch it for the characters. So if the characters don't look good, I'm not gonna watch it. But other than those really pandering shows, an example where bad character design, controversially, ruined my experience was Darling in the Franxx, where where okay,
How is that a slice of life?
no, I was moving on. I'm like, uh, I was talking about that. This is a separate thing. I'm saying there's a slice of life stuff where that's all that it matters, and now moving on beyond those shows, to like shows that actually have a plot. Um, I didn't like the design for the main character of Darling in the Franxx. He was like dumpy. He looked like his face and body was drooping. And I'm like, you look like you need to go to the gym. No, I'm not fat shaming anyone. He wasn't fat. It was just like he was just not. He didn't look good. His body looked sad, and I guess I did reflect his mentality, but it is not a good look on him. And quite frankly, quite frankly,
Haha, you funny.
it was it kind of hurt my experience. I didn't really like it. Among other things, though, obviously that hurt my experience.
I think
in
other things
Franxx.
about Franks hurt your experience much more.
But I will say that, like, going into the first episode of Franxx, like, I was hyped from the Trigger name, and then his character design was just, like, brought me down.
But you would admit that it kind of fits his disposition at the beginning. Like the kind of sad, droopy...
I guess, but you
look.
can fit that disposition without looking ugly.
I guess. It certainly hits it home a lot easier, though.
Like, March Comes In Like a Lion does it better. Where he looks...
Oh, yeah. I actually would definitely agree with that, because the main character in that, Ray, is... I would say has a very similar disposition to... forgot his name.
MC Kun. Hero. He's the hero.
Hero, thank
He's the
you.
hero.
Hero.
He's MC Kun.
Hero and Darling in the Franxx at the beginning of the show. They're
See,
both kind of...
The difference is
meh.
that Ray looks like a model. And Hero looks like a lump of coal.
I wouldn't go so far as to say model, but
Honey,
certainly
have you
better.
seen those? Okay, like the first shot of him is him waking up in bed with no like glasses on, and like the light shines in from the sun, and he like looks at the sun, and you do a close up of his eyelashes and like all the sparkles. Like, girl, model.
It's just no wait. You half expected him to be holding a bottle of like perfume or something.
Yeah, and it'd be like Coco Chanel.
Coco Chanel. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Up, beautiful.
He looks up at the camera and holds Chanel number 5. Shaft, listen to me. Golden opportunity for a crossover right here.
Stop it!
No, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure already did the crossover with Gucci. Let's do this. Let's cross over
Wait,
March
hold on,
with
what?
fucking Chanel. Yes, there is an entire one shot
What?
of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that is literally just made to show off Gucci stuff.
You're shitting me.
No, I'm not. It's called Rohan Goes Gucci.
That's fucking amazing. Holy shit.
It is amazing.
Oh my god.
It's it's fantastic.
Okay, so my turn.
We need a Gucci anime is what I'm saying. We need Gucci design anime characters.
It's called Neo Yokio. You can watch it on Netflix.
Oh my god, I knew you were gonna go there. Fuck
Damn
you. Fuck you. No, it's not. Literally an animated version of Jaden Smith. More of what we need.
And
sure.
what's less Gucci than that? Or more Gucci?
I was about to say,
Whatever.
I can think of a lot of things that are more Gucci.
Okay.
Have
So,
you stopped pissing yourself yet?
a bad character design that ruins my enjoyment of anime or manga for me is pretty much, and I'm not being racist here. I'm just gonna put it out here
Oh, here we
straight
go. Brace
Hashtag
yourselves, everyone,
drama.
because what he's about to say is definitely going to be slightly racist.
pretty much any Chinese-made anime.
Oh God.
Why?
Holy fuck, is it fugly?
What?
Like,
Really?
Jesus
Like what?
Christ. Whenever I see a character from one of those, I'm like, good lord. It hurts my eyes to see this. It legitimately looks ugly to me. I'm like, why did you try to make this? I know you censor everything over there, but
Why not censor this?
why did you make this when you want to censor things? Like, censor this. Don't let it be created. Send your people to camps already. Like, I know you do it already, so go
Oh,
ahead.
They are sending their people to camps. They're called labor camps.
Not the fucking ugly artists.
So wait, what particular shows
Yeah.
are you talking about?
What in particular? Yes.
Oh god, I can't even remember. There was a
They all have Chinese names. He's not gonna remember.
yeah, I really
No,
won't.
but like
there was
what
a
show?
really I remember on Crunchyroll there was a really ugly anime. It was in 2018 or 2017 that it
Was it the one with the
airing.
puppets?
The puppets.
no, it
That's
was-
wait. I guess that is Chinese.
No, it wasn't one with puppets. It was it was actually animated show. It wasn't horrible in terms of absolutely horrible in terms of story and all that, but the characters looked fucking ugly. And like I did some research afterwards to see
Should have wrote it
other
down.
shows and all that. This was from a while ago. I'm sorry. I did some research into other Chinese stuff, and all of it looked horrible to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like this looks like the when people do outsourcing, but it went so much worse than what was thought possible. Like it really looked that bad to me.
I mean,
And
my
like
biggest.
that alone stopped me from continuing on that anime just because I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I really can't. And you know, that might be a bit overblown. It might be over dramatic, but for me personally, no, I just couldn't do it.
I really wish I knew what it was, what the show was.
If I find it later, I'll make sure
Well,
to
that won't help
have
us
it in
for
the
this
description.
recording.
Not for the recording, but if we can put it in the description, like, you know,
Okay,
we can maybe do that.
Sure.
Um,
I actually just thought of another one that its character design. Well, not its character design. Well, really, that's an art style thing. I can't say that. Never mind.
Before we move on, I just want to say there is the one Chinese show called. I think the English name is Frankenstein Family, but the Chinese name is Xian Pin Jieting. It's the
Very good.
I don't know, like I think you watched like the first episode at least, Alex. Where
I watched the entire thing.
what? Oh, it's wait. Did you watch it in Chinese?
I think so.
See, okay. The biggest thing about Chinese shows is that I can't deal with the Chinese language.
Wow.
The Chinese
Wow.
language. I just
Wow.
can't. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm physically
Language
sorry.
shaming people
I'm
here. Jesus
Physically
Christ.
sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
mean, Japanese is clearly superior.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Let's not.
Need I remind you of this thing called World War II where they actually used to think that?
Okay, well.
And they were right. Oh god.
No,
Oh
Chinoda,
my
please,
God.
we are not. Can someone
We're
neuter
gonna get
this
so
dog?
banned.
Okay. The thing
Well,
I
this
want
podcast
to
has been really
I'm
fun,
just
guys. We're
kidding.
gone now.
the thing I wanted to say was that that was a Chinese anime, Frankenstein Family. That the character designs were really nice, really cute, and the animation was good too. So.
I think a lot of that had to do with like it was kind of it wasn't actually a moe show, but it kind of was.
I guess, but it's still Chinese.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's why I really wish he could tell us what the name of the show was. I could go look and see. Like maybe he's right. Maybe it's just this one Chinese anime had really terrible character designs.
How did
I
that
don't know,
end? Well, we can talk about this later because I never finished that. I really
Let's-
I really like that show, but I could not stand the Chinese voice actors.
Yes, let's spoil an anime we don't even know what it is. um, wait, are you talking about the Frankenstein
Yeah,
family
about
anime?
Frankenstein Family.
Oh, I'll tell you later. It is kind of a I mean, it's a slice of life. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, does it really need an ending? Do slice of life anime need an ending?
I just want some nice. You know what? We're not gonna go there.
You just wanted to watch it because there was a show to end it.
He was a cute boy.
So getting back on track, one thing that I've noticed recently that, and I have one very specific example of this as well, of something that's come up is when character designs don't actually match the story that's being told. I'm curious as to whether you guys think that's good or bad. So the example I have is School Live. That show has incredibly moe character designs, yet it's a psychological horror anime.
You could say that with a lot of those kind of animes like magical
Mahou shoujos,
Yes,
yeah, especially lately.
Those what do you call them? Whatever. Those dark magical girl shows.
Yeah.
Another example might be, say, world that's made out of CG and all the characters are just animated without CG,
Like
using
traditionally
other methods.
animated.
Exactly. It looks jarringly different.
Kato. That was actually done really well.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a good example.
That's an example of it done actually really well. But I mean, yeah, it's the deconstructionist Mahou shoujos that have come out recently. Those do that too. Like Madoka Magica was really the first big one that did it, where it has this really cutesy character design, but yet it's pretty violent and dark. The one that came out last year, Mahou Shoujo Sight, was another one that had pretty, I won't say moe, but certainly cutesy style to it, and it was also really dark and violent. I'm just saying, do you guys think that's actually good or bad when it doesn't match up? The character designs don't match up to the story.
Well, all the examples you gave, like, it was intense. The difference between the design and the tone of the show was done on purpose. So, I think in those cases, it was done good, well.
But
Well,
I agree with you, Show. But the thing is, in the cases where it's done on purpose, is very specific and rare as well. Most of the other times, it's just a complete accident, and it turns into a horrible shit show. Is the thing. Would you agree
That's
to
an
that?
interesting way to put it.
I'm trying to think of when it's not done on purpose. Can't really pinpoint an example.
I think more times than not, it's going to be done on purpose. Like, for example, like the School Live thing, even its OP is really sets itself up to be like a really moe slice of life thing. So the idea, I think, with that was to lull people into a false sense of security while they were watching the show. And then in the first episode, give them a huge twist to like, this is not the cutesy thing you thought it was going to be, motherfucker.
Yep.
And I think in that sense, actually, School Live succeeded in what it was trying to do with its character design, where it lulled people into a false sense of security and then just twisted everything on its head. I think it can certainly be used that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. Sorry, I was trying to remember what the hell is School Live, and yeah, I remembered.
It's okay. It's okay,
It's been
man.
a
I'm
while
here for
since
you.
I've heard of it. Okay.
I just remember when it was out and like airing, people were all gaga over it. I don't know. I mean, it was pretty good though. I liked it. I as someone who genuinely loves Moe character designs, I thought the character designs were great. I just thought it was an interesting way to trick people, basically. I'm trying to think of another. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's another example of this that isn't a Maho shoujo that's somewhat recent, and I can't think of anything. I think this is largely used in Maho shoujos anymore.
Well, it's kind of used in Kakegurui, where,
Not to the extent that it is in other in Madoka Magica though.
but I mean, you could say, but like the point of Kakegurui is to have these cute, beautiful bishojos go crazy, and then like have really disturbing faces that are not cute at all. So it does use the
True.
same tactics.
I guess that is the exact same kind of thing, yeah. I know it's on the tip of my tongue what the fucking name of the show is, and it's a show from like the mid 2000s.
Oh, girl.
Fuck, it's fuck. Higurashi. Higurashi does the same thing. Have any of you ever seen Higurashi?
I ain't got time for like what 50 episodes.
I
It's not
want
50
to say
episodes.
no. Let me look into this real quick.
There's like,
Higurashi's 26 episodes.
yeah, but how many seasons?
Like 2
Oh,
or 3.
what's 2 times 26?
Not over 100.
Nope.
I never
have
said
not
over
watched this.
100.
But anyway, it's something that does the same thing. It's incredibly violent and incredibly bloody. But yeah, every single female character in there is like this moe blob. Anyway, I wanted to bring it's
They
like,
have
it's on the tip
such
of my tongue.
giant heads. Good lord.
They have giant heads and enormous eyes. Everyone has enormous eyes in that anime.
Christ, they look like eldritch entities with these things.
Oh no.
Well, actually, that's not entirely. You're not too far off from what the story is actually like.
Are you shitting me? Oh, but done by Studio Dean. Oh,
Mm-hmm. This is a rare example of pre-Konosuba Dean actually being good.
I might have to check this out sometime.
Good luck finding it anywhere.
7 Seas, baby.
Don't think it's. Well, I don't think it's actually currently licensed. Although I haven't really looked in a while, so that may have changed. All right, so Shinoda we should have talked about this when you mentioned uniforms earlier, but Shinoda wanted to talk about this, so
I did.
I think. Well, I'm getting to it. Shinoda wanted to talk about this idea, and this propensity for anime to utilize fascist or Nazi-inspired uniforms.
Now that Alex said it the boring way, can I say it the fun way?
Sure.
The Japanese fucking hard-on for the Nazi uniform.
Kirurakiru.
Oh God. I want to keep doing this. I really do. But Shinoda makes this so difficult sometimes because we're gonna get banned.
I'm the fun formula.
Oh,
No, you're
no.
WD banned. So Shinoda pointed this out, and he's not wrong in the sense that a lot of sort of pseudo-military inspired anime tend to have sort of Nazi-esque looking uniforms. I can think a really good example of that's happened somewhat recently is an anime from, I think it was 2017, called ACAD 13, where the uniforms in that anime are very obviously meant to represent, if not Nazi, then borderline fascist military uniforms, like from World War II.
Hell, think
And-
of Darling in the Franxx. That's directly inspired if you
Ah.
look at it.
I don't think so. I know other people have said that, but I don't think so. I do genuinely love the uniform design in Darling in the Franxx. I love the aesthetic of how women and men have different shapes that lead up to their collars, where women have an X and men have a Y. I thought that was actually a really nice little detail, and I didn't even notice it until like 3 or 4 episodes in. But I wouldn't say that they're particularly like Nazi-inspired uniforms. I think you could maybe say that with 02's, maybe.
I would
But the
definitely say
basic
it
uniform
with
that they're-
02's, but some of the higher command as well, it reminded me a lot of that aesthetic.
I mean,
Maybe.
what's the
Actually, if you really want to get like really bizarre, I think that what were the higher ups called? I fucking forget now. Anyway, the
Father?
people dressed in white. The people that are dressed in white they're shady as fuck.
Oh, Ape.
Yes, Ape. The outfits they wear are suspiciously reminiscent of KKK outfits.
Why not? I thought Shinoda was supposed to be the problematic one.
Oh,
He's
you think
just
I should?
pointing it out.
Yeah, I'm pointing it out. I'm pointing out that the KKK exists and they wear white. I don't understand how that's a problem.
I mean, it's only. I mean, they're not. It's only KKK inspired if you think it is. It's only.
I mean,
that way.
I mean, I
that you
seriously
not saying-
doubt
I'm not-
these
no,
things
no,
are
no.
directly
I'm not
inspired from Nazis and
Yeah.
KKK. No.
I'm not saying that this is a direct inspiration. I'm just saying if
It's
you
the
look at the two
aesthetic
side
of
by
it.
side, there are similarities.
problematic.
They could be completely coincidental. I'm just saying they do exist.
If you say so.
It's definitely, well, having someone wear a Nazi-looking uniform is definitely a way to identify a villain, an easy way to identify a villain.
So what in these designs make them in particularly Nazi-like instead of just military?
Because the Nazis like to have, more so than other military units at the time, had a lot of symbols and like badges on their uniform that were indicative of their political philosophy. Like a good example is like a lot of Nazi uniforms had the swastika armband, whereas first of all, it's not practical. And second of all, there's really not any other military uniform that does this, that has an armband, certainly not a removable armband. And so I guess that's certainly one way to like corroborate the two.
I really don't. I find that hard to believe. I need more evidence. Not making a convincing argument. Because like in slice of life anime, like the head chief president wears an armband. Is that Nazi?
Yeah. It's difficult to tell. I mean, what is it actually inspired by? Who knows? Yeah, I mean, a good example of that is in, again, Haruhi Suzumiya, where like Haruhi wears a very prominent orange armband that says Club President on it.
Well, I just did a quick Google, and I think it's like more of a very Japanese thing that they wear that armband. I don't think they imported
Yeah, I seriously
that.
doubt that part specifically
They didn't
is inspired
import that
by.
from
True.
someone else.
I'm not saying it's directly inspired by it, but if you look at it, it kind of has a similar feel to it.
No, that makes no sense.
Again,
It's
we're-
a Japanese thing. It's not really Nazi, anyways. But
That
okay,
doesn't mean they can't look similar.
yeah, but the whole thing is that like it's the intent of the author to to draw a Nazi-inspired uniform. But if they were never intended to do that, then what's the point?
It can still look like it and not be inspired by it. Things can look similar and have nothing to do with each other.
But then it's
I don't
pointless
understand what's so difficult to understand
the
about that.
discussion is pointless. But well, when you brought this up on the doc, I thought you were just gonna be talking about just general how a lot of slice of life manga and anime have military uniforms. And what
Well,
you
they
thought
do.
of that.
I mean, I wasn't even talking about slice of life and all that. I was talking about more
Actual military
action-oriented,
stuff.
Animes and mangas.
Well, I mean oh Jesus, Full Metal Alchemist, their uniforms are pretty highly decorated.
Okay, Full Metal Alchemist is very German inspired, though, is the thing.
Well, it is very German inspired because the manga who created it was asked what race are the people in the story, and and the mangaka said without any like pause or anything, they're Aryans. Like, okay, we're just gonna gloss over that and get the next question. But yeah, it's very difficult to deny the fact that there's a lot of, well, certainly the society in Full Metal Alchemist is a fascist society. And I think it's very easy to draw a comparison between that and a Nazi uniform. I don't
I
even
mean,
if
hell,
there
they
isn't a
even had
direct
their
link.
own stormtroopers.
Yes, they have their own SS. They're not called the SS, but they form the exact same function.
Isn't the antagonist the Führer?
Yes,
Yes.
he is literally called the Führer.
Yeah,
Führer
that
King
is
Bradley.
actually, yeah, his title.
Yeah, I mean, in that instance, I think how can you not say that's not inspired by Nazi Germany?
I mean, that directly is.
It's not.
What?
I refuse. I refuse.
It literally, but I'm gonna choke slam you.
Please do. I will pay you enormous sums of money to make that happen. I think we should do that. Is one day when we're all together. It's just you should just beat the shit out of him while I throw money at you.
What?
I'm pretty sure you're gonna get in a couple punches on me beforehand. We have a
Anyway,
very damaged but loving relationship, folks. Just for context.
To say the least. All right, well, so to wrap this up, I'm going to open this up to both of you if you want to talk about any particular character or costume designs from shows that you particularly like or do not like.
Do you want to start, Alex?
Oh, sure. I can start out with one that I actually really like in general. So the Monogatari series. As someone who has now watched the anime, read the light novels, and is now reading the brand new manga, I've seen 3 different character design interpretations of the characters in these stories. I think that Vofan is the artist that illustrates the light novels, and he does an absolutely phenomenal job illustrating the light novels. His art style is very unique because he uses really soft lines to create character outlines. And then, obviously, the anime series is done by Shaft, who is known for having really wonderful character designs in a lot of their shows. And then I have to say, of all of the interpretations I've seen so far, I love the manga that's out, the Bakemonogatari manga that's out now, the best. It's being done by a mangaka called Ogre. I'm trying to figure, I know he did something else that was really applauded for its art style, and now it has completely slipped my mind. I'm gonna look it up really quick. I know this. I swear to God, I know this. But anyway,
sure? I just said, "Are you sure?" Go on. Sorry.
I know this, but I can't think of the name right now. But anyway, I think that so far has been the best it's been done, and I'll tell you why. Because one thing that character designs in general get sort of, I don't, accuse might not be the right word, but it's been said that a lot of anime character designs make characters who are very specifically supposed to be Japanese look white. In this manga adaptation of the Monogatari series, I don't know how it's been done, but the characters actually look Asian. They look like they're Japanese characters.
Problematic.
Why is that problem? Why is it saying that Japanese people are Japanese? Why is that problematic?
Well, you said they look white before.
I didn't say that. Other people have.
Problematic.
I'm just reiterating what other people have said.
I put you in the problematic box.
Yeah, that word has no meaning anymore.
Okay.
But anyway, it's interesting because it's something I haven't seen before, and the characters look great, and the manga itself is just animated or drawn really well. So I just think that it's something I wanted to point out because the Monogatari series now has 3 very distinct and very different character design interpretations.
So versatile.
Yeah.
We stand a versatile queen.
Anyway, do you have any that you would like to throw out there, show?
Sure. So I just want to give a shout out to Seraph of the End. Speaking of military designs, this is how you do it right. No, but I really love the color design for their military outfits, specifically I don't even know what they're called. The humans. They're humans, allegedly. The human faction, with their black and green, and like the green is like borderline glow in the dark, and it is just, my eyes just have eye-gasms whenever I see them.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw someone cosplaying a character from Seraph at the End one time at a convention, and their outfit actually did glow in the dark.
Yes.
The
That's
green
so
actually, the
fucking
green part of the
cool.
uniform did glow in the dark.
See, that's how you do it right, and you get great cosplay out of it too. And I also like the vampires too. I just love how it's just so flowing and detailed, and just the sewing is just so nice. I clearly know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it looks nice. Okay.
God, you can hear the boner in his voice.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Fate, even though I don't really like Fate. They have a lot of good character designs. Actually, I have a list of the people that I think
Jesus Christ
are really nice. Gilgamesh.
They have that aesthetic.
Oh,
Hold on, let me list them out for you. Saber, 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 Saber,
Okay,
Saber with blue
alright,
hair,
calm
Saber,
down.
Saber, Saber.
Calm down, Astolfo. Calm down.
Oh my god. No, none of the Sabers nor Astolfo made my list. But we have Gilgamesh, Shota Alexander from Fate Go, Cowboy Billy the Kid, Lanling Wang, which I don't know where he's from. That is
That's the worst name ever.
You're so problematic for laughing at that name. Oh my god, so insensitive. Mr. Wang is not pleased. We also have Angra Mainyu, which, as someone from Indian descent, I don't know how to pronounce that. And there's also Ozymandias. I just love the.
How about Ozymandias?
Honey, do I look learnt to you? No, because you can't see me. Yeah, I just like
your deductive skills are so good.
So I just like how, like, with Fate, the whole setup that, like, you just take random people from random places, you get so interesting character designs, and I think they work it well, and they have a very diverse cast. And the last thing I wanted to shout out was Devilman Crybaby, in particular, for updating the old character designs for the new Netflix show, which was is the Crybaby. The Crybaby suffix is what differentiates it from the original, and the update is really nice. They look like models, and, like, who doesn't like a model? Have I said that I like models? Because I don't know. But they do look really good, and I do enjoy their proportions.
Devilman Crybaby doesn't really have character designs, though, because they're all just sausages with eyes.
I don't know what you're saying, but does that
They're
mean
all lanky and crappy.
Like, no, but Devilman Crybaby goes between one end of the spectrum where they're, like, really well animated and super pretty, and then the other end where they're like lasagna. So
that's a good analogy, because they look exactly like they've fallen apart like a lasagna.
Yeah, which I don't mind. I mean,
Like, they look like they're stooped over a chair, like.
I mean,
Not
but when they're put together, they look nice, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with some people have their bad days.
Sausage
Okay?
lasagna.
Literally everything else, but the characters themselves are a drug trip as well. Just their looks.
Sure.
I mean, if you want to watch it high, sure.
It would
Might make it
probably
better.
help, if anything.
I think it was designed to be watched high. That's why the characters look like they do. Like they're coming out of the screen at you. It's like, oh my god, lasagna's attacking me.
I need a 3D Devilman Crybaby. Holy shit.
Well, then you need to get high before you watch it.
No, fuck that. I want them to make a show in 3D so I can watch it that way.
All
Oh.
right. Well, was there anything else, show?
That's about it.
All right. Were there any in particular that you wanted to shout out to, Shinoda, before we sign off?
Yeah.
Either good or bad.
Yes. Bleach from Ichigo. Reverse that. Ichigo from Bleach.
Bleach from Ichigo. I'd like to drink some bleach when I watch it.
Okay, first of all, fuck you. Second, Ichigo has had, if you watch the series, you notice that Ichigo is one of the rare characters in all of anime, and this does not happen often, unfortunately, where he actually changes his fucking clothing. Holy shit!
What?
Yeah, it's a fucking
Nani?
miracle. Apparently, he has more than one outfit in his closet. He has a lot of it, actually. He's got fucking taste as well, I might add. God damn, that boy. He knows how to dress.
Hey, he's a ginger. He doesn't matter.
But, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, he has various amounts of outfits, and almost all of them look fucking delicious, let me tell you. Like, goddamn. And
All right,
I
put the
really
boner away.
I really appreciate that. He has different outfits. They all look good somehow. Well, most of them, at least in my personal opinion. And it changes rather often. I really like that. Another example, and this is just going straight up off of aesthetic, the Katsuki from Naruto. That uniform, oh my
Do you watch anything
God.
else besides shonen?
Alex, what?
I mean, so many of your examples tonight have been from shonen.
Okay, so?
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just curious.
You know we talk. I'm gonna chokeslam you two. Anywho, god damn that cloak. That was honestly the very first time I went to a convention and I saw a Katsuki cloak. I bought that shit. I straight up was like, yo, that right there, give it to me. And I proceeded to wear it for the rest of the convention, like the next 2 days. And I was happy as shit because I had a Akatsuki cloak, and that is aesthetic as fuck. I still have it. Shit, bit damaged, but fucking love that shit, man.
Can we even say that that's Naruto cosplay at this point? That's just Filthy Frank cosplay at this point, isn't it? R.I.P.
Press F in chat.
Press F in chat.
Another one that I like for just stupid reasons, and like it just came into my mind while we were making this list. Bo 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 bo.
I was wondering if you were gonna say it. Bo.
No, you have to say the title correctly. And if I remember right, that is how you say it correctly. It might be bo 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 bo.
But isn't it? No, I thought it was bo.
That's the problem with this goddamn title. It's a lot of bows.
I know we can't see it right now, but I know that Sho is about to kill himself.
He's probably hanging.
He is tying the noose as we speak.
Keep going.
The character design in that fucking drug trip is off the charts. All the villains and the main characters had such a variety of costumes and differentiating looks that changed on the fly. it was amazing for costume design and character design because it could change up whenever, wherever, literally. It does not matter. It could be one of the most important moments of the show, and they will fucking change up. They had the balls when no one else had them, and I still. That's one of the many reasons I love that show with all my heart.
I was very passionate, Shinoda. I shed a tear. I really did.
It has a special place in my heart. It really
I-
does.
I used to love Bobobo. I really
I need
did.
to do a rewatch sometime.
No one can convince me that drugs were not heavily involved with the creation of that show.
I need to get heavily sauced and watch that sometime, cause, whew, that was something else.
Just like this episode. Thank you all out there for dropping in to listen to us. We hope you enjoyed it because we always enjoy bringing it to you. If you want to check out previous episodes of the podcast, you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. If you want to keep up with what we're doing and have a little more fun, you can join our Discord server, become a member of our Facebook group, follow our Twitch channel, and visit our website. And if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, or concerns on this or any episode, feel free to shoot us an email. Links to all these things will be down below in the description. And if you ever figured out what fucking Chinese anime Shinoda was talking about, please let us know, because I'm genuinely curious now. As always, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Drown your misery in chocolate. It'll help.
Hey, Shinoda.
Yeah.
Bo bo bo. Bo 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 bo.